Luka just Luka looks like maybe the best version I've ever seen of him. What do you? I mean, what do you think? And does he make the Lakers a contender?
Yeah, I think Luka's one of those players who I think we could agree on can make any team a contending team within reason. Obviously, I don't think he can go to the Brooklyn Nets and make them a competitive team, but he can go to most teams in the NBA and immediately make them competitive. He has that type of level. He is a top 4 or 5 player in the world. He has been pretty much since he's been in the league. Took a little step backwards last year, but there's a lot going on. The trade, injuries, that kind of derailed him. He looks like he's his best self. This is the best version I've ever seen of Luka. And the Lakers have been able to string wins without LeBron, which then kind of makes a new question, which we kind of touched about on our last episode. Is kind of what do you do with that? I think for now you bring LeBron back and see how everything is able to run. You're having Luka play top level basketball. You're having Austin Reeves play top level basketball, and even the other kid who Anthony Edwards apparently didn't know his name was. Um, uh, Shit, I don't even know his name. What's his name?
Jake Laravia.
Yeah, he's had an impact. He had another 20-point game last night. Um, so they're tapping into something right now. They're able to win without one of their key guys playing. Obviously, LeBron's been injured, so it it's exciting to see. Lakers being good is good for basketball. We know that. I get sick and tired of talking about them just because there's such a big market team. It feels like every podcast, every show, every time I'm on TV, the topic of the Lakers comes up, and we're inevitably discussing Luke and LeBron, the dynamics of that team. But they are good. It is good for basketball when they're good, and Luke is just much to watch right now. Must
And then,
watch.
DeAndre Ayton couldn't go last night, so Jackson Hayes got the start, and he was 7 for 7. And he played really well. And I think if I'm the Lakers, they're definitely looking into does Jackson Hayes start, DeAndre Ayton start, because Jackson Hayes, the lob threat player that he is, that makes he kind of unlocks more for Luka, I think, than DeAndre Ayton does. And I think that's kind of
Correct.
the kind of center that the Mavericks always had that made Luka really special. So I bet you the Lakers are looking into that.
Yeah, it's a proven known thing. Luca plays well with the lob threat and what he's able to unlock on offense with the weak side threes, able to kind of get the defense to collapse with the lob threat because of how well he can throw that pass. So for sure, Jackson Hayes needs to be ready to play. He's been a guy who's always been kind of up and down when he's got an opportunity. Um, a lot of people don't see him as a starting center, but he has that talent. So, with a guy like Luca, you saw what Luca has done for previous bigs. He can make them look very, very good. Hoping to see that with him.
That's why when you made a joke just now saying, I don't know if you could take the Brooklyn Nets to it, I'm like, all of a sudden, yeah, you throw Luca in there. All of a sudden, Nick Claxton's catching lobs. And I'm
Yeah,
like, man, I
nah. I
don't
mean,
know. Maybe he
listen,
does make them pretty good.
I don't know if he can make him a contender. Do I think Luca could go on the Brooklyn Nets right now and make them a possible playoff team? Yes, I do. I think if you have Michael spaced out for three, Cam Thomas coming off the bench, Luca handling the ball now, uh, like you said, Clayton, what's his name, Nick's, him
Nick
rolling,
Claxton.
yeah, Nick Claxton. You got these guys rolling to the basket. Yeah, they probably could sneak into like 7 8 seed. That's how good he is, though. It's more so like he has the ability to control a game, and there's only a few guys in the league that can manipulate at that level. People can say whatever they want about Trey Young and where you rank him as a point guard in terms of single players being able to manipulate and control the entire game. He is one of the very few guys who can do that. I can tell you that much. So, you know, Luke is at the pinnacle of that, and I do think he probably could make them competitive.
Do you think that's what I mean? I think right now you would have Shea over Luca if you were ranking players, but I think if you put Shea and Luca on, let's say, I mean, we're picking on the Brooklyn Nets right now, but you put them on a kind of a depleted team, Luca would do a better job carrying the team more than Shea.
Yes, yeah. I think so. Yes, if you put them on a depleted team, I think Shea would be able to score as many points as he wants because he's just that gifted. In terms of manipulating the game and getting everybody involved and making sure the game's played at your tempo, Luca is Trey Young, LeBron, Nicola. It might end there. That's probably it.
Yeah.
So that's who I have in that conversation. Luca just has those type of powers.
Yeah, and to wrap up the Lakers conversation, we can move on from the pod. LeBron coming back to Austin Reeves playing this well, Luca playing this well. The Lakers are winning games. I mean, would you like to see him in more of like we're going to use a Draymond Green role, but maybe more off the ball, how to make these guys better? Or do you think he's coming in gun ho?
I think he is who he is. Do I doubt his capability of doing that if he wanted to? No. I think LeBron could do whatever he wants on the basketball floor. Think he could wear many hats. What he's willing and wanting to do, what they see him, what JJ sees him as, what conversations they've had, that's a different thing. I don't know uh, how that's going to go down. I could tell you right now, you have these guys playing the best basketball they've played individually. When we talk about Luka, we talk about Austin Reeves. So how does LeBron coming back mess up that chemistry? How does him coming back mess up this flow? How does Austin Reeves and Luka continue to get this many touches? These are valid questions. LeBron's a dominant player with the ball in his hands, though. He's not a freelancing, cutter, slashing, off ball 3-and-D guy. He's never worn that hat his entire life of playing basketball. Okay. So that's a valid question. I don't know if I have an answer to that. I think if you're LeBron, you want the continued success of these young guys, especially to carry this weight during the regular season to save his legs. I would like him to be a little bit more off the ball. And then when guys go to the bench, he can continue to be who he is, LeBron James. But I think with those guys out there on the floor with him, all three finishing a game, depending on how the flow of the game is, if he's having a great game, then obviously he can finish it. But I like him being a cutting, slashing wing, spot up shot guy. And then when he gets the rebounds and stuff like that, if the ball's kicked to him, then he's LeBron. Let him do your thing. But if ball goes to a basket, we're running back on offense. I don't want the LeBron getting the ball, bringing it up, and being like, all right, let me run the show. I would like Luka and Reeves to continue their development of what they're doing right now, personally.